Hey all. I almost missed you. This is very exciting. Not only is neighbor Tom here, but his wife Lisa is here too. Hanging out. And it's just a party out here in the middle of the desert. Not so much a party as much as three people sitting around in the sand. It's good to see you on Friday night. I'm glad you're all with me. Oh, hi all. I didn't even have time to tune my little guitar before we started. Sorry about that. All right. Well, I was thinking maybe we would play. I would start off with a really old school song that predates a lot of you gatherers. But there are a lot of you that at this point have become pretty familiar with the catalog, even some of the stuff from my really old writing. This not only feels like kind of an older version of myself writing this song and singing this song, but it's also a song just kind of reminiscent about the little town outside of Boston that I grew up in. And so, more so than a lot of other songs that I sing, this really kind of takes me back to running around in the woods with my friends growing up, learning how to play guitar and figuring out what girls are all about and all that kind of stuff. It's called Side to Side. The gatherers say hi, by the way. Grew up in the backwoods of a small town, my own town. I sneak out through the backyard where the boys would be waiting around. We'd go creeping in and that was our time. I remember the way that the moon would shine, and all of the mischief done and the lessons learned. The times I kicked on through and the times I was burned. And it's not so far that I can't see. There's still a part of me. Highest high. It's the paths we fly. It's an unpaved road, it's a rocky ride. And all I can do is shake my head from side to side. Must have been 4 years older, I was so young, just 14. I saw her staring at me, it was a look I had never seen. She said, be ever so slow as she came around. Oh, I remember the way that she laid me down, and all of the wonder and the mystery as I glimpsed the man that I would learn to be. She's not so far that I can't find her with me all the time. It's the highest high. It's the paths we fly. Paved road, it's a rocky ride. And all I can do fill up the tank as I head west out of town. I turn the radio up to my favorite sound, a guitar strumming with the sound of the wheels on Highway 9. And I wonder, will I remember this day for the rest of the time? It's the highest high, it's the paths we fly. It's an unpaved road, it's a rocky ride. And all I can do is shake my head from side to side. Woo! It is funny how, and I think that we all have these triggers, right? I mean, maybe it's like the smell of, right, of gingerbread cooking that brings you back to your grandma's house on Christmas Eve, right? A lot of songs trigger a lot of memories for me too, and it's interesting. A lot of songs that I've heard on the radio growing up will trigger those memories, and the same thing happens with songs that I write too. So we've talked about it before, that oftentimes the writing can be as much of a diary entry as anything else, which is why I have so many songs that I've never shared until the Gathering series. And so kind of one of the special things of getting to do this every night forces me to dig into the whole history of me trying to make art, figure myself out. And each time I do it, it triggers memories from the journey that I've taken. It's pretty cathartic kind of process. So cheers. Beer helps too. Okay, well, how about I'm gonna play a song right now that I think we've only shared in one gathering. I don't think I've maybe ever played it for y'all in person. I don't know if the only time. I looked on Supergirl's little database and it says I've only shared this song once, and it might have been on the night that Ellis Paul came on as my guest. Great friend, songwriter, and mentor, and this was a song that we wrote together. Man, I really love this song, and I'm excited to share it again. So I'm going to be trying to remember it all and figure it out as I go. But this is a song inspired by a pretty famous Boston legend, a musician named Dennis Brennan, who has made incredible music in the Boston area for decades and decades. For years, he would play out at a place called the Lizard Lounge, and awesome, legendary spot in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And every week that he would play there, a place would be packed, sold out, fans. It was, I mean, he really was a legend in Boston, is a legend in Boston. And by day, he would work at the hardware store down the street. And Ellis and I were together, and we were songwriting one day, and we were trying to think of what we should write about, and I was just we just started talking about Dennis, and we're like, well, let's tell this story a little bit, And actually, I mean, I think that, I don't know if Ellis would agree with me on this, but I feel like this story that we are telling is actually, Dennis was the excuse, but it's really a thinly veiled it's a thinly veiled story of ourselves. And I would say maybe especially me, spending 20 years on the road, most of that time playing hours, 4 or 5 hour gigs in bars, right? And so this is a song called Waiting on a Break. And I'm sorry, I'm having trouble with my guitar tonight. Having trouble with my ears tonight. Yeah, all right. 6 o'clock, the alarm starts ringing, wakes me out of a dream. Stumble down to the car, scrape the ice till the window's clean. Waiting on a break, chasing down the long tomorrow. Waiting on a break, soon. 8 o'clock, hit the shop, punch the clock, turn the heat on. People come by their hammers, by their nails, build a dream home. Waiting on a break, chasing down a long tomorrow. Waiting on a break, soon. The crowd calls us out, 1,000 voices shout. The band will kick it out till the dream is over. When I come off the stage, they'll have to carry me away on a fanfare parade till the dream is over. 8 o'clock, close the shop, punch the clock, turns the lights down low. 6-string waiting in a corner, plug it in, just let it go. Waiting on a break, chasing down a long tomorrow. Waiting on a break, soon. The crowd calls us out, 1,000 voices shout. The band will kick it out till the dream is over. When I come off the stage, they'll have to carry me away on a fanfare parade. 10 o'clock, sound check, hitting whiskey. Stage smells like cigarettes and beer. Bartender gives a wave as the boys begin to play. Yeah, it's our sound. 4 hours till they close us down. But someday crowd will call us out, 1,000 voices shout. The band will kick it out till the dream is over. When I come off the stage, they'll have to carry me away on a fanfare parade till the dream is over. That one's called Waiting on a Break. All right. Well, so I was looking down my little list and trying to find some songs that I haven't shared in a while with you. I've been working real hard with Josh this week on a bunch of recording things, and we've been working on this song All Right today, which is not the song I'm going to play right now, but it just brings me, I have lots of memories of being in the studio over the last years, and for those of you who haven't been at a gathering when I've been talking about that process, it is such an interesting and strange thing. It is a whole other art form, recording music. I mean, I can write music. I love to write music. I love that art form. I love connecting with people through that music in a live fashion. I love that art form. The recording art form is a hard one for me. It is a real hard one for me. When I feel like when I have this thing in front of me and I'm singing and we're together, I can express and communicate and connect the way that I want to connect. And that's what art is for me, right? But when you record a song, people aren't there with you when they listen. They're driving, they're listening to Spotify, they're doing whatever, but they're thinking about other things. They're experiencing you without you there. They're experiencing my music without me here to talk to you in between songs, and so that you know who I am and you know where I'm coming from when I sing a song, right? And that enhances it. So how do you try and get all of that stuff into a recording? And the answer is that you have to try to produce a lot of that emotion in musically, and that is such a hard thing for me. It is such a puzzle, and it is an enjoyable puzzle. It is an enjoyable puzzle. It's a little bit of a stressful puzzle because I really want to do it. I really want to do it well. I want you all to be able to hear these songs and be able to feel that stuff. And sometimes musicians go into the studio and they work with producers, and sometimes those producers will pick up exactly on what the musician is wanting to express, and it is just an awesome experience, right? Sometimes the artist doesn't really know what they want to express, and then a producer can be super helpful, helping them out. That's never quite the case with me, right? And sometimes a producer will try to hear what an artist is trying to express, but also try to shift them in a direction where they feel maybe their sound will be more connective, more tangible to more people. And sometimes that process can be really positive. I really love being pushed like that, but I've had experiences where I've been pushed in those directions, and slowly, little by little, the songs have stopped feeling like me. And those were really challenging moments for me. They were really good learning moments for me. And so, this is one that came from one of those moments. I wrote this after being in a studio, working with some producers that wanted to push me in some really interesting directions that didn't feel like me. And I wrote the song when I was finished. I guess this is my surrender. I've tried to bend your ear, and I know that there are so many others out there that I would rather see when I am looking in the mirror. And I know that I don't belong here. You've given me all the signs, and I'd be better off if I didn't chase after all the things that I do not have every single time. And how did I think it was right when it is so wrong, wrong, wrong? How did it take me so wasting my time, wishing that the person you were chasing was me. I've thought about switching my scenery. I've attempted to make a change, and I keep coming back to dwell on the parts of me that probably will never be explained. These parts are so familiar. Love-hate is what I got, 'cause sometimes the very thing that separates me from the pack is also something that I know's existing only in this spot. And I know you do everything right, but for me it's so wrong. How did it take me so long to see that you are gonna get chasing after every pretty face you see? And I am done wasting my time, wishing that the person you were chasing. Every time that I try to be like you, I wind up so easily broken. I'm finally through years to watching me walk away. And you can take your pretty perfect self out of my way, because you are gonna keep chasing after every pretty face you see. Wasting my time, wishing that the person you were chasing was me. Oh, we're starting to get some colors back there. Let's see what happens if we switch to the sunset cam. Yeah. That's pretty. Isn't it funny? No, it's different every night. All right. Well, this has been too much fun. Let's sing an angry song. Yeah, I wasn't lying when I told you I'd throw all these thieves to the wolves if I didn't think it'd give them all canine indigestion. And yes, I am offended, not just by the words that you say, but the undertones in the folds of your suggestion. And everybody's dying for something good to say. Everybody's crying for them gone good old days. Everybody's trying to be brave in the face of all this hate. I wish I had something to break. I wish I had something to break. I wish I had something to break. It's kind of funny. No matter how great your night goes, you still gotta wake up with yourself every morning. morning. And yes, I think it's tragic how every lie you throw out hits me in the face every day like another stoning. And everybody's dying for something good to say. Everybody's crying for them gone good old days. Everybody's trying to be brave in the face of all this hate. Wish I had something to break. I wish I had something to break. I wish I had something to break. Break down the greed in the face of this need that grows more severe by the hour. Break down the walls that make you so damn tall and the rest of us small without power. Break down the holes that make the screamers so bold while the rest of us sold down the river. Rage on to the truth through the lies you pollute. Let solutions and hope be delivered. Everybody's dying for something meaningful to say. Everybody's crying for the gone good old days. Everybody's trying to be brave in the face of all this hate. I wish I had something to break. I wish I had something to break. I wish I had something to break. Look at that, our rage forced out some of those colors back there, didn't it? Yeah. Now it's funny that, there are people out there that feel like my job as a musician is to entertain. And well, I certainly hope that I am entertaining, but that I don't think is my job description. I think my job as an artist, for me, and every artist is different, and every musician is different, and there are musicians out there, right? They are singing because they just want to entertain, and the reason I write songs is I want to try to connect through the most honest parts of myself whenever I can, right? And man, it would not be very honest of me if I was singing about rainbows and lollipops all the time, and because I feel fucking angry sometimes, and I feel sad sometimes, and and I feel happy sometimes too. So I feel like the music that I play and the experience listening to that music, we should, in a certain sense, be forced to experience those emotions as they're played out on stage, as I express the songs that are expressing those emotions. And that may not be super fun all the time, but I hope that when I'm singing a song about bad feelings, about sadness or anger, right, that maybe it's turning up some of those feelings for you or some of those memories for you, but maybe there's also some beauty in getting to connect through the fact that we all share those feelings sometimes, and that we are not alone in feeling those things, right? And that, to me, is like how art keeps me alive, right? So, anyways, I'm talking a lot tonight. I haven't had enough beer yet, probably. Usually when I'm concentrating on talking, my tuning does not. My tuning suffers. Okay, I didn't practice this one for you, and I would have liked to, because I feel like the last bunch of times I've tried to play this song, I have messed up the words. But it's a new one. Well, sort of. It's a couple years old, but it's new for the Gathering series. And it's one of those songs that I played first at a Gathering series, and since then, you gatherers have requested it a whole lot, and that makes me happy. So I'm going to keep playing it. This one's called Pink Champagne. Drinking pink champagne in an old motel in a nowhere town, headed somewhere else. An old chipped glass she took from the kitchen to that little cafe that she ain't missing. AC's blowing, hot air, TV's broken. She don't care. She's dancing with her best dress on, singing to her favorite song. Ain't thinking about the past, it's gone. Here's to brand new, got nothing left to lose. She's smiling, no shame, in a cheap motel, drinking pink champagne. Drinking pink champagne. Drinking pink champagne. Yeah. Folks back home always told her, you'll understand when you get older. That's the way it is. Days just get longer. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Be thankful, darling, for what you've given. She hears them calling. She ain't listening. She's dancing with her best dress on, late night, singing to her favorite song. Ain't thinking about the past, it's gone. It's too brand new, got nothing left to lose. She's smiling, no shame, in a cheap motel, drinking pink champagne. Drinking pink champagne. Drinking pink champagne. Yeah. AC's blowing, hot air, TV's broken. She don't care. She's dancing with her best dress on, late night, singing to her favorite song. Ain't thinking about the past, it's gone. It's too brand new, got nothing left to lose. She's smiling, no shame, in a cheap motel, drinking pink champagne. Drinking pink champagne. Drinking pink champagne. Wrote that with a great songwriter named Mason Thornley in Nashville, Tennessee. So I would say that is an example of a song that was written probably in one of kind of my later chapters, right? But also with another with another songwriter, a co-write, which is an interesting thing, right? By its nature, it's harder to be quite as raw and personal, because you're writing from two voices, and sometimes two voices can both be expressing something that they feel very personally, and it can be a very personal song. And sometimes a song can be crafted to tell a story, and I love that character in that story. That song called Pink Champagne, and man, I love that gal. I want to meet her. That song makes me want to drink pink champagne for the first time in my whole life. Goes with the sky behind us too tonight, doesn't it? All right, so now we're going to rewind again back to an early song. We have talked before, gatherers, about the difference in how we can tune guitars to get different sounds. And so this is an example of a song that is written in open tuning, meaning it's called open tuning because without my hand on the fretboard here, it's already tuned to a chord. So all you need to do technically is move your hand up and down the... Right? But then there are also things that you can do in open tuning that's really fun. One thing that is a really powerful mechanism for getting emotion across in a song is the use of drone notes. In other words, notes that play the same tone even though chords are changing on top of them. So when you have an open chord, you can take two fingers, right? And you can change the nature of the chords, leaving most of the strings untouched. So most of the strings are droning, but you're changing the chords just by using the relationships of a couple different notes. It's really pretty, right? And this is a song called Yellow Brick Road. It is written before the days that I met Allie, when the idea of being in love with someone was a really scary thing for me. And so this loosely takes place in the Wizard of Oz metaphor, as you might have figured out from the title, and I am compared to the lion, or I compare myself to the lion a little bit, and so here we go. Should ever break me, and if you should ever make me change my mind, I hope you don't mistake me for anything, cowardly line, 'cause I just can't fight anymore. Falling is hard like a stone, and if I follow blind to your door, I hope it lies at the end of the yellow brick road. sneakers have been wearing out, and I know that there's room for two here, but will there always be room for doubt? 'Cause I just can't fight falling is hard. It's hard like a stone. And if I follow right to your door, I hope it lies at the end of the yellow brick road. Eastward there only is evil around, and westward there's just wickedness to be found. And I know you can handle my heart and my brain, yeah. But here's my courage, just can't fight anymore. The falling is hard, it's hard, it's hard like a stone. And if I were back onto your door, I hope it lies at the end of the yellow brick road. I said I hope it lies at the end of the yellow brick road. I said I hope it lies at the end of the yellow brick road. Okay. Thank you for the claps. You too, Tom. Tom and I got up at sunrise a few days ago, and we went hiking off into the wilderness. Got ourselves lost a handful of times. Got ourselves found again. It was a good morning. It is really crazy. And Allie and I feel really lucky. We have somehow managed to, we thought we were heading out to one of the most remote places we could imagine. And here we are, part of this beautiful little community with good people around us. So, pretty lucky. spin through cities and oceans, round farms and coasts, hidden corners and folds. I'll hold you when your heart is racing. The storm we're chasing, no one else could see. That's the way you dance with me. In the moments when I've lost my courage, when I'm torn and discouraged, when I'm bruised and cut, you'll be there, you will be my compass. You will hold your thumb against the bleed. That's the way you dance with me. The rest can walk and run. They can fly, they can stroll. They can drive, they can roll. Through all our miles to come, we'll be dancing as we go. When our love spins into autumn, when the years come tumbling, when our hair turns gray, I'll be spellbound as the day I fell. Through my eyes' reflection, you will see. I love the way you dance with me. I love the way you dance with me. That's the way you dance with me. All right. You're gonna meet my buddy Sam, who's gonna be out in the desert, sitting in this dirt at some point, camping on our little stretch of sand and cactus for a couple days in a few weeks, I think. And so that was a song I wrote for him and his gal, Once Upon a Time. And I did not know how much I was gonna really like that song when I wrote it. Allie was with me when I wrote it, and I was not feeling super great about it at the time. And she was like, "Oh, I think I think it's an okay song. I think it's good." And it's been growing on me since I wrote it. So. It's true. We had a crazy. It was. So my buddy was getting married, and we were in Belgium, and we had to. And this was the most horrible. This could be the worst. Like, I mean, it's not worse. Like, I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of us dying right now. This was just a bad situation, right? Allie and I get in there, and of course there's jet lag and weirdness, and they're getting married. They're getting married in a farm about an hour outside the city. This beautiful farm. Everybody's staying inside the city in hotel rooms. Allie and I had never been there before, and so we went out the night before with everybody, and we were having drinks, and we were going to bars. Remember those days when you could like have drinks with people and go to bars and stuff? That was awesome. And my buddy was getting married, and I wrote this song for his wedding, and I mean, it's a scene out of a movie. Allie and I wake up the next morning only to realize it was not the morning at all. It was the afternoon. We had overslept by like 6 hours. I'm not kidding you. We had to have been there. I was supposed to play at the ceremony. We were supposed to have been there at like 10 a.m. And, you know, to go over everything. And it was going to take us an hour to get outside the city. And you had to get a cab in a foreign country to figure out where you were going, right? And everybody that knew how to get to this place had been there for 5 hours already. The wedding was supposed to literally start like an hour after we opened our eyes, an hour away from the wedding in a foreign country with no idea how to get to the wedding, right? It was horrible. It was horrible. It was like 4 Weddings and a Funeral, that exact scene. If you've seen that movie, it was that exact scene. We were racing around, like trying to throw suits on and dresses on, tripping over each other, and meanwhile trying to have conversations with people at the front desk to try and get us a cab. And of course, we get into the cab, and we get into the cab. And it's total traffic. It's like gridlock traffic getting out of the city, which is horrible. And then halfway out of the city. So at this point, right, the wedding was supposed to have started like 20 minutes ago, and we're still 40 minutes away from this farm that we're supposed to be at, right? Allie looks at me with this panicked expression, and she's like, "Do you have?" I didn't bring my wallet. Did you bring your wallet? And I looked down, and I'm like, and we didn't have any money. We're in a cab without any money. Luckily, we figured out a way to like text or call. So we had our friend meet us at like to pay the cab driver when we finally got there. The cab driver couldn't find a farm for a while. But luckily, as late as we were, and as horrible as it was, the bride was later than we were. So I pulled in, and it's one of those memories you get with you know, your best buddy, right? Like that you'll never forget. Like skidding. We had this cab like skidding into this dirt driveway on this farm. Running out of the car, right? And everybody's inside, and my buddy Sammy, the groom, is standing at the gates of the farm in the parking lot. He's the only one, and he's just got this smile on his face, and he's shaking his head, and he's like, "Get in there," you know? And you know, luckily for us, the bride had not showed up yet, and that was. But I had written this song for that wedding, and so at least in the gridlock I got to practice the song, and that's when Allie informed me that she did in fact like the song. Anyways. Well, this has been a fun Friday night. Up your glasses. Let us drink to the wind at our backs. May it always blow steady wherever you roam. May it turn when you're ready to carry you home. May it keep you ahead of the rain. Raise up your glasses. Drink to the heavens above. Some say it's the science of all things combined. May we look up and always feel wonder. Here is to us and all that we see. Here's to our hearts and the air that we breathe. Here's to the round and good company. Here's to the drink that we share. Raise up your glasses. Let us drink to this time that we have. For these moments pass lightly, won't come again. May our lives all burn brightly, right up to the end. May we live them with joyous abandon. Raise up your glasses. Let us drink to the end of the day. Let us drink to the work when the working is through. Let us drink one to me. Let us drink one to you. Let us drink one to those who aren't with us. Here is to us and all that we see. Is to our hearts and the air that we breathe. Here's to around and good company. Here's to the future. Here's to the past. Let us drink one now slow. Let us drink one now fast. Let us drink one as if this night is our last. Here's to the drink that we share. Oh, here's to the drink that we share.
That is a good song.
Cheers. It was fun hanging with you. Let's do one more. Cheers. For all the folks that we've lost this week. There have been a lot of them. And it's a scary time. And, well, I just want to say again that doing this with you makes me feel a little better every single night. So thank you for that. Please stay safe. Keep on looking out for one another. I'll see you tomorrow.